He's been in the news all through the general elections in India, was removed from his position, but now has been reinstated. We are discussing a lot about how Congress is going to look at its foreign policy through the prism and eyes of Sam Pitroda. Mr. Pitroda, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global. In this entire election period of India, how much of the discourse in the United States of America, particularly amongst the Indian community, but also others who really look and closely monitor India, had to do with the kind of mudslinging, the kind of language, the situation on the ground, human rights, democracy? How much of that really was part of the discourse when people were discussing the Indian elections or India for that matter?
There are multiple views. There is no one single view. One group of people listened to all your media and said 400 seats are guaranteed. 350 seats are guaranteed and Modi will have no issue at all and it is all done. So don't even pay attention. Okay? That was one group of people. And as a result, large number of NRIs also believe that election is a done deal. There is probably a small group of people like us who believe that Indian people will vote for democracy any day. We have seen that in the past, in Mrs. Indira Gandhi's time. And Indians, even at the rural level, understand the value of democracy and constitution. And their voice will be important. Forget about the numbers. The key message was that we were at crossroads. India was right there like this. One path is dictatorial attitude, bigger than life-size leader, where everybody just rallies around no matter what he says. If he sneezes, everybody says, oh, what a great sneeze. Okay. And undermining of constitution, more focus on religion. Prime Minister is seen all the time in temple. Okay. Doing this puja, that puja, yoga and all that. And concern for minorities, OBC, Dalits, inclusion, and real issues of employment, inflation and others would be on the back burner. So either we go that path or we go this path, which is democracy, constitution, debate, discussion, collaboration. I think the key to this election is we have selected this path. I don't think people have understood yet. Okay, I don't think the government has understood yet. The way it is going on today, it is business as usual. The way it is going on today is business as usual. That's not fair. Okay. Let's not get into number. 40 to 199 and all that is not an issue. The real issue is you were expecting 400 seats. Absolute majority was not even an issue. People of India have spoken. Please listen to them carefully. People of India said, we will not give you majority. Hold your horses. Tone down a little bit. We want discussion, dialogue. We want to strengthen opposition. We want you to realize that we will not allow you to fiddle with constitution. We want you to worry about minority inclusion. That's a message. It depends on how you read it and how you act. So to me, as an observer, I want to watch 5 things.
Okay.
One, is Modi and BJP government behaving in the way people want them to behave? Or they are saying business as usual and we don't care what people said. We are not willing to listen to the voices of the people. So that's one thing I want to personally, as a concerned citizen, senior citizen, observe. Second, is opposition becoming stronger in their voice and taking on the right issues at the right time to really articulate the mandate they have been given? Or they are just going to be quiet and, sort of like they were before. They got to be more active. 3, will our institutions also listen to the voices of the people, saying they want us to be independent, autonomous, responsive to the people and not to the party or government, which goes true for judiciary, election commission, ED, CBI, government officers, including vice chancellors. 4, civil society. Civil society will have to say that we got to be more active. This is everybody's democracy. It is not a democracy between political parties, okay, or government. It is a democracy where I need to speak up as a senior citizen. Democracy is always work in process. Democracy is not something you take for granted. Next is media. Media will also have to recognize that public have spoken. Okay, so you got to be more fair to others. You can't toot one horn, twist my facts to suit somebody else's requirement and not be fair to me and just fair to the bosses who fund you, who give you lots of ads. Okay, and we are watching. We are all watching. We are all watching media. We are all watching, civil society. We are all watching institutions, government and opposition. I have a group that I meet on.
That's a significant point you make, though. You make a very significant point. All these are important pillars that make up for a country. And the country has indeed spoken. Democracy has won. The democratic structure in India is being celebrated. So now should we put the EVM controversy to rest, saying that, okay.
No, EVM is not at rest. EVM controversy is not at rest.
Okay.
Okay, it is not at rest. So let's not even begin there. Okay, we can have a separate
program. There was an issue? Yeah. You still think there was an issue there?
There is an issue, not there was an issue. There is an issue. Look, you saw the NEET exam. Look at the logistics. Okay, there is some leak somewhere. When you look at the election process, when you have million voting machines being shipped in a truck, put it in a store. I'll send you a video which says 3-4 guys go into a control room, break the lock, go inside the room, take the machine out, come back with some new machines, put it back in and put the seal back in. Okay. So this elections video given by Election Commission. Okay. Now you want me to believe that nothing happened? Okay.
All right. So this is an issue that is going to stay and remain burning in India as well. There are a lot of
logistics
issues that are being raised.
It is not a machine issue. It is not an electronic issue, please. It is an issue of logistics. That whole chain is very complex chain. There could be leakage at multiple points. Okay. So yes. Don't say, why should President mention this EVM in the speech? I don't understand. Okay. That's not President's job to mention EVM in the speech, according to me. Okay. These kind of things are being watched. Okay.
Maybe to give a larger picture of, okay, people have spoken, we have more people, but again, it's a larger issue. It requires experts to really look into it, although Election Commission says it's not hackable, but...
No, hackable is different than manipulatable.
I was just coming to that.
Don't start that, because you see, you guys
I know, Mr. Pitroda, I was just saying the same thing that you're saying, that while the Election Commission says it's not hackable, the larger issue of were EVMs moved, were they stolen, is a different story altogether, and that has to be looked into. We'll just talk about the larger picture. Trump versus Biden, the first presidential debate is over. It was disastrous for Biden. Very rare for an incumbent not to come back to power. But who do you think compares better for India?
First of all, we don't know what is going to happen. I would wait till the Democratic Convention in Chicago.
Do you think there could be a change?
Could be anything. Okay. So let's wait for a while. Okay. Two, no matter who comes, India has to work with it. Okay. There is no way out. America is still the richest country, is the powerhouse. So we have to really find amicable solutions and collaborate and cooperate. And we will do that. India will do that, and US will also do that. We have had a good relationship, and we'll continue.
Okay. And the United Kingdom, Labour versus Conservatives, it seems like Sunak is having a very difficult time. He might not come back to power.
I think that you should see a very interesting interview by the designated foreign secretary. Okay.
David Lammy.
David Lammy.
David Lammy.
Okay. Very well done. Excellent interview. That sort of spells it out very well. Okay.
Okay. So you are actually rooting for the Labour and not for the Conservatives.
I think it's clear. It looks like it's very clear.
It's quite clear. So we'll have to wait and see how that moves forward. But there are so many important aspects, particularly that the Congress will have to look at when they engage the government on foreign policy. And on that count, Mr. Pitroda, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your views on various aspects that are important to India and part of India's foreign policy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.